Hey friends, this is Carrie and welcome back to I Like Reddit channel. Today we have a variety of stories out of some different subreddits. Let's begin. Our first story is by The Rayquake. Karen stops the train because she doesn't have a ticket, gets arrested. This just happened like a minute ago, and I have to post this. Sorry, I'm on mobile and my grammar sucks. A little backstory. I was hiking with some of my friends, and now we are going home by train. Cast: entitled person, Karen. Dude 1, a dude on the train, kind of aggressive. Dude 2, a kinder dude on the train. Woman, a nice lady. The whole story began when we heard Karen talking on her phone on the toilet. She was saying things like, "I locked myself in here," and "See, I told you I didn't need a ticket." Nobody really cared at this point, but after a while, the train conductor noticed. He somehow opened the door and asked for Karen's ticket. She didn't have one. Then she had the brilliant idea to wait for the next station and stand in the middle of the door so the train can't close the doors. That's when Dude 2 started trying to convince Karen this is a bad idea. Dude 2, look. We can sort this out. Just buy a ticket and we can go. I don't know if this is how this works, but that's what he told her. Karen, I don't have any money. I really need to get to city name. Woman, I will miss my train. Please just buy a ticket or get off the train. Dude 2, ma'am, if you don't get off the train in the next 10 seconds, I'm calling the police. Karen,
no, I will call the police if you don't back up. Stop harassing me.
Dude 1, look, today was a long day for me, and I want to just go home now. Please just buy a ticket so we can go. Woman, if you don't buy the ticket, I will make you buy mine. I won't miss my train because of you. Karen,
no, nobody was in the toilet, and if I want to, I will lock myself in there because I really need to get to city name.
Keep in mind, we're still not moving from the train station. Dude 1, I will miss my family dinner because of you. If you don't get the heck off right now, I will punch you out. Karen,
then I will call the police.
Then Karen gets her phone out and accidentally drops money. More than enough for a ticket. Woman, see? You can buy a ticket. Now let us go. Karen,
no, I need this for something else.
This is when Dude 1 starts to push Karen off the train and punches her in the face. She starts punching and kicking Dude 2, but she's too weak to achieve anything. Karen jumps on the train and starts shouting. Karen,
I will sue you for assault, you jerk.
After this, Dude 2 comes to the rescue. Dude 2, I called the police to the next stop. Just go. And the train doors closed before Karen could do anything. She was arrested at the next stop. And woman, Dude 1, Dude 2, and the conductor are still talking about it. Too long, didn't read. Karen decides she needs to travel by train without a ticket, gets arrested. So I guess to Karen, people buy train tickets out of the goodness of their hearts, not because they have to when they go on the train. But, you know, to Karen, the rules don't actually apply, I guess. Well, I'm glad that this time she actually got punished for breaking the rules. Anyway, on to our next story. Our next story is posted by Morgan Le Fay, entitled Uncle Tries to Tell Me to Know My Place in My Own House. So I unfortunately have a lot of these types of stories because my mom has 5 brothers and sisters, and 4 of them are so entitled, they think anybody younger than them owes them respect because they're your elder, despite the fact that they're rude to everybody and act like they're superior. In fact, the only sane people in my family are my mom, who is the youngest of 6, and one of my uncles, who is the eldest of 6. It's kind of funny that the middle children pull the "I'm your elder" excuse the most. This specific story is about one of my uncles, who is an all-around trash person. He's very sexist and has been known to abuse animals. He's been in and out of jail for most of his life and thinks that gives him some sort of experience or something on the outside world, despite not being in it for very long. He also treats us adult nieces and nephews like we're still children and constantly talks down to us because, once again, he's our elder, so we better listen and do whatever he says, even if he's wrong. Well, one day he came over knocking on the door, angry at my father for some asinine reason. He hates my father because he has an invisible disability responsibility, which to my uncle doesn't exist, and he's just being lazy. Apparently, so he constantly finds reasons to be angry at my dad, and I was holding on to my little dog because I didn't want him to accidentally get in the way in fear of my uncle kicking him. Anyway, when my father answered the door, he immediately walks into the house and starts cussing about something or another. I didn't hear him at first. He then locks eyes on me and proceeds to cuss me out, calling me a name for not getting up and opening the door for him. He talks crap about me being a bum and whatnot, despite the fact that I work 2 jobs and live in the house, and he is a homeless mess who couch jumps from person to person, even though he has a job and he could afford a place if he wanted. He eats their food, rearranges their home to how he wants without asking, and expects you to say thank you to him. The rest is what I vaguely remember being said. EU stands for entitled uncle. EU. And your fat A is just sitting there doing nothing. Me. How dare you come into my house and talk to me like that? EU. Don't you cuss at me. You better know your place. Me. I can talk to you however I want. This isn't your house. You come in here disrespecting my family and disrespecting me, telling me to know my place? I know my place. Do you know yours? I pay my rent. I work 2 jobs and contribute to this household, so I can say whatever I want. That is my place. He proceeds to continue cussing and walks past me. I don't fully hear what he says because I'm shaking with anger. He grabs his laundry from the laundry room, and the last thing I hear is him calling me a little bee. And I yell back, F you, as the door slams shut behind him. My mom heard everything and told him he was no longer welcome at our house, and told my dad to lock every part of the house when we leave, because previously, if we weren't home but one of the doors was accidentally left unlocked, either in the front or the back, he would just walk right in without calling or asking first. Honestly, good riddance to him. I don't miss his presence one bit. Sorry if this seemed like a mess, but I'm on mobile and I'm still getting the hang of telling my story in text form. Respect is earned, not given, and I guess nobody ever told this guy that. It seems like it's one of those things he'll actually understand when he's burned enough bridges in his life, or burned all of the bridges for that matter. Anyway, on to our next story. Our next story is by Kelly Fant. Parked halfway in my bay? Hope you don't mind pushing trolleys. So this just happened. I bought some groceries and was bringing them back to my car. And whilst I was in the shopping center, some jerk did a really crappy job of parking and parked so close to my car that I couldn't get in. I was mulling away at it while I packed my groceries into the back seat. Now that my trolley is empty, I think this just might be the perfect time for me to leave my trolley behind his car. That's not enough either. There was a parking bay empty in front of his car, so I put one in front of the front bumper too, just for good measure. I then got into my car via the passenger door and managed to not hit either of our cars as I reverse out and left. I'm surprised that the OP just left trolleys around this guy's car, or shopping carts. I remember something like this happened to my best friend. She was in college at the time in a parking garage, and she was parked right next to a wall in the garage. It was like a corner space, and someone came and parked so close to her. She had a minivan. She had to climb in through the trunk and climb over her back seat in order to get in. And she was fuming when she told me this. She had this little joke notebook thing that she got from someplace like Spencer's or Hot Topic, and it was basically a fake ticket to make the person sweat for a few seconds about being a jerk while parking, before they realized that the ticket isn't real. Anyway, on to our next story. Our next story is posted by Stryker 120. You took $200, you lost $21,000. So, most computer users will have some experience with this. You know when you're shopping online and sometimes a pop-up box says click this promo code, sign up, yada yada? Well, we know they're scams. My mistake? I first clicked the wrong X. It put a fake one on top and I clicked it. I immediately shut the page and thought that was the end of it. Nope. So the site I bought the Hanukkah gift I was getting for my mother sold my credit card information to the pop-up. I activated it when I clicked the wrong X. I was a teenager and relatively new to my checking account. I checked my statement for December and all was well. I didn't check it for the next couple of months because I didn't use it for anything. There should be no charges. I know better now. When I did check, I noticed all of these small, insignificant charges that weren't mine. Always less than $10 and usually around $2, but multiple charges added up to over $200. When I looked into this, I found the connection. I called the thieving company and told them they stole my information and are illegally charging my card. They didn't deny it, but they also said they didn't care. I wanted my money back. They refused repeatedly. I gave them so many chances to fix everything with just that. I eventually warned them that I would have to sue them if they didn't give me back what they stole. They laughed. Turns out there was a class action suit in progress, which my lawyer used as leverage for a quick payout. We sued for fraud and violation of federal communication law. What they are doing is very illegal and happens every day. This includes a lot of popular stores and websites. Since they were 100% in the wrong and committed a crime, and I was a child who bought her mother a gift, I won the case. I received a judgment of $21,000. I told them it would all go away just by refunding me $200, but they refused. They seem to think a teenager threatening to sue a massive corporation that does nothing but break the law wasn't much of a threat. What they should have noticed was that I was buying a Hanukkah gift. Hanukkah. Everyone I know is a lawyer. It's always nice to see crappy companies like this get their comeuppance. Good on the OP for helping bring these jerks to justice. On to our final story. Our final story is posted by Pinky. Don't take unassigned assigned seats. So when the semester started, my friend and I sat in the back. These seats actually had desks versus chairs where you pull up the desk from the side. We sat there for almost 3 weeks when suddenly these other students started taking the seats. Now I know that technically these seats are not assigned. However, everyone also knows that in college and university, when it comes to unassigned seats, that after a period where people are adding and dropping, the seat is cemented. It is a douche move to steal someone's seat after that point. Now these people sat behind us in the pull-up desk seats. We were never late to class and would usually show up anywhere from 20 to 5 minutes before class. They took that as a cue to take our seats. At first, it was like WTF, but whatever. However, as time went on, they deliberately would show up early and be right next to the door, waiting for the other class to leave to take the seats. They knew what they were doing, it wasn't an accident. Anyway, I've had enough. So I showed up an hour and a half early, and my friend also showed up early. It was a test day, and they saw what was happening, and they were trying to push themselves ahead of us while they were waiting for the other class to leave. We got our seats, and so they stole someone else's seats. Next class, I'm early, and so is my friend. We are right by the door, and we are going to get our seats. We were letting the last class leave without trying to shove ourselves in, which is rude. These people decided to go in the other door and shove past people. Now I walk in and I see they took most of the seats except 2. So I go and sit down, and the girl has her backpack on the table. She looks at me and says, "Ow, I was going to save this seat." Now, that doesn't mean anything to me because they kept stealing our seats. So I just smile at her and sat down. The look on her and her seat-stealing friends' faces is priceless. They start texting each other, giving me looks, and it is hilarious. Next class, I plan to get our seats for sure. I just need to figure out a way. Too long didn't read. These people have been taking our unassigned assigned seats. So when they told me a seat was reserved, I just ignored them and sat down. They all proceeded to get annoyed and furiously texted each other, giving me dirty looks. Now some of you might say, what's the big deal? It's just a seat. But I know from personal experience that unassigned assigned seats are a big thing. And I mean, I remember when I was in college, this thing used to bug the crap out of me. I mean, somebody comes and sits in the spot that you've been sitting in all quarter or all semester, and some jerk sits there. You're not paying attention to the lecture. You're just sitting there thinking, I'm gonna find a way to get my seat. I'm gonna come in tomorrow extra early just in case this jerk decides to come and take my seat. It becomes almost obsessive. I completely understand OP's obsession. That's all the stories I have today. Please stop on by Reddit to show the OP some love and an upvote. Links to the original stories will be in the description box below. If you enjoy my content, please like and subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to hit the bell notification to let you know when I've uploaded new content. Thank you for watching and have a great day.